Has something ever happened and you've thought, wait, I'm sure that happened years ago? Or you watch your favourite childhood movie and something isn't as you remember it? Let me introduce you to the Mandela Effect. I'm Ross, and I want to get to the bottom of the theories surrounding this phenomenon. Are we in a parallel universe? Or does time travel really exist? The Mandela Effect gets its name from Nelson Mandela, who died on the 5th of December 2013. But many people remember him dying in prison years before that date. And so the Mandela Effect was the name given to the idea that people remember things in a different way to what they actually are. Let me show you what I mean. I asked this group of people to fill in the missing word of some famous lines, titles and phrases.
I want to say mirror.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. It's mirror, mirror on the wall.
Is that right? I did not know that.
No, it's not.
Sex in the city.
Sex in the city, isn't it?
Ow.
So sex and the city.
I am your father, Luke.
Luke, I am your father. Well, that doesn't make any sense because in the films it's Luke, I am your father, isn't it?
Oh, that shook me up, that. Does he not say Luke?
Weird, isn't it? One of my favourite examples is the Flintstones. There's evidence of it being spelt with a T, Flintstone, and without a T, Flintstone, and this evidence shows that it's flicked between the two different spellings, and this massively supports one of the theories behind the Mandela Effect: time travel and alternate universes. I discussed these theories with Cynthia Sue Larson, a Mandela Effect researcher.
Most of the evidence is anecdotal. Therefore, what we're witnessing are things that you yourself can experience, and then it can be hard to convince anyone else that you did have a time loop or a time shift or a reality shift, or that you've seen history change.
So have you had any experience with time travel?
Yes, I've had quite a few experiences with time travel. I've had the sort of things that many cultures on Earth have had long histories with, the Dagnall effect. My daughter, I could hear her voice on my front porch, and I was cooking something in the kitchen with the front door. I could hear the noises, I could hear voices and people there. So I was talking, I said, come on in. I went to the front door, I opened it, there was nobody there. And then a number of minutes later, my daughter and her friends arrived. This is a well-known phenomenon, so these things do happen.
But could our brains just be playing tricks on us?
There's too much going on. It's too big a phenomenon that I've personally experienced so many different ways that I can't any longer say, oh, it's just imagination. So to me, it seems like what we're actually witnessing, believe it or not, is that we're seeing what we used to think of as quantum phenomena occurring everywhere. So we will occasionally see incidences of time travel, time shifts, reality shifts, Mandela effects.
But not everyone believes in these otherworldly theories. Neil Dagnall is an applied reader in cognitive psychology and has a particular interest in the Mandela Effect.
The Mandela Effect, I think, arises from a number of psychological phenomena, and one of the main ones is memory. One of the things about memory, because it overlaps with imagination, is that the Mandela Effect could be explained by a source monitoring error. So what that means is, it means I may think about doing something, but not actually do it. And then when I think back later on, I imagine having done it.
And the schema-driven errors that you also wrote about, can you just explain that as well, please?
Yeah, schema-driven errors is just filling things in from memory. So it's putting things as you expect them to be rather than as they are. So if you've got a very strong memory of the Monopoly character as being a posh, aristocratic gentleman, it's quite easy to imagine that posh, aristocratic gentleman would actually have monocles. I think you always have to go for the most simple explanation, and in this case I think many of the things that people are reporting are just simple manifestations of memory errors.
Well, if my mind wasn't blown before, it definitely is now. The evidence is there to prove the effect is real. And the theories are convincing. But can it all be put down to psychology? Who knows? The Mandela Effect is something that I'm sure will puzzle us for many more years to come. So be on the lookout for anything that's different from how you remember it. because we may just be in an alternate universe, or a time traveller may walk among us.